Good morning. As always, I just got to work, like 7:30 in the morning. Sometimes I get here a little earlier, but it's hard enough for me to like get up and get out of the house sometimes, and like I got up at 5 today. And I'm just not ready to work because it takes almost an hour to get here. And like, I don't know, I had to shower and all of the things, and that takes time and effort. Like, I made it through the weekend. Unfortunately, my Friday episode never recorded properly, so I wasn't able to redo that, but it's okay. I made it through the family gathering, and it went well. I had my noise canceling earplug things in for most of it because it was a lot of noise. There was a lot of noise, and 4 children and 2 dogs, but the dogs are great and I love them. But yeah, just a lot of people in one room. But I didn't hide out in the bathroom as much as I thought I might. So that's good. Yeah, today, sorry, itchy. My body has been sore. I feel that I probably am just still haven't recovered from the weekend and the week before, like I thought. I think I had mentioned, maybe, I don't know, I think that might have been in the video that I didn't get to post because it was messed up, but I had a early Thanksgiving this Saturday, and so it was just thankfully not at my house. It was at someone else's house, and we were just there for a few hours, and yeah, I mean, it's nice to see everybody, but I prefer to just see people on like much smaller groups. But it was nice to be invited and to see the people that I enjoy seeing, I guess. I don't know. It sounds bad. It makes it sound like I don't enjoy seeing some of them. I don't know some of them very well, nor do I get an opportunity to really talk to them due to the nature of just big family events, so I just don't know some of them very well. But yeah. I was able to make a cake and some cake pops for the kids, and that was nice. I used to be a baker, so it's fun to be able to do that. I wish I were able to do that more. I just don't have the energy or the time with work. But I'm so sleepy. I really didn't want to go to work today. I wanted to just go right back to bed. Yeah, it's just one of those days. Not quite as bad as Thursday, but still not great. My shoulders and kind of everything is just a bit achy. I think I'm about to start my period, which normally increases some of my issues. Like, I just tend to be more achy all over during that week or two surrounding my period, during my period, slightly after my period, and all of that. So yeah, it can be uncomfortable for sure. But trying to just be kind to myself and not try to do too much and mask my discomfort. I obviously am not going to tell every person who walks into work today, hey, I don't feel good today, but like, I'm not gonna also try to do things that I know I really shouldn't be doing today. So thankfully I don't think there's really much that I would need to do today anyways that would be strenuous. My job is relatively relaxed and laid back, so that's one of the only reasons I've been able to keep this job with this schedule is I pretty much just sit at the front desk and just occasionally walk around and make sure everything looks good. So it's pretty easy. I don't know how well I would be able to keep a full-time job at this level if it were more strenuous. That's something I think about a lot. I used to have jobs that were more strenuous, and I quit every single one of them because of it just being too much for me. So I'm trying not to do that here. I feel that like my brain power is not really that great today because I didn't really recover from everything. I didn't have my normal 2 days to recover, and even that doesn't really feel like enough sometimes. But it's difficult living with the way that I am, knowing that is not typical, and that I'm expected to do more. I'm expected to be more capable than I am, and in order to make a living. I've talked about that a lot, but I know it's a big struggle for a lot of people that have either autism, ADHD, or other types of dynamic disabilities where you don't really have a disability that you can go to. You can't really get disability for most of the time because you can keep a job if you can do certain things, or like you can even with disability, like it's hard because you don't make enough money to actually live off of. You have to be supported, and it can be really hard to allow yourself to be supported by someone if you have someone, and a lot of people don't even have anyone to support them, and so it can be really challenging to just to exist in your body and your brain. I don't really have like a solution for that. Unfortunately, that's just not the way our country is designed in America, and I don't know about other places very well, but I don't know of any place that makes it necessarily easy to have a disability. I mean, obviously, it's not easy to have one because it's disabling, but it is better when you have the support that you need, and oftentimes we don't get that, and yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody who is disabled would say that they want to be this way, that they want to struggle. I mean, obviously there are certain things about neurodivergency that I really enjoy or that I think are really beautiful. However, there's lots of aspects that aren't. And so it's not, an all or nothing sort of situation. And I think that as much as autistic people, myself included, think black and white, I think a lot of times the lack of knowledge that allistic and, more typical people that don't have disabilities, they think that disability is supposed to look a certain way, and if we don't look that way, then we're not disabled. Or if we're not disabled 24/7, if we can still function in some ways, then we're not really disabled, and that's just really damaging. So it's hard for me to reconcile too, because again, I just have recently started admitting that I have a disability. I never really thought about it before, as I just thought like it's something I needed to push through, or that everybody has struggles, and that is true, but people typically don't have the level of conditions that I have. My back and neck and joints and all of that stuff is really, I don't know anyone else my age that struggles the way that I do. Okay, that's a lie. I know like a couple of people, but they are also disabled, so that's not, they also have things that keep them from having normal jobs and normal lives, and it's really difficult to accept that, especially if people are telling you that you're not, or that, just do yoga, just do this, just do that, and then you'll be fine. And it's like, that's not really how that works. Like, I've tried a lot of things. I've tried so many things to try and fix this. I can't. If I could, I already would have. So it can be discouraging when people don't accept you for who you are. Same with neurodiversity, where I do have lots of struggles with sensory things, but it's not always. Some days I have more energy to mask and to just be more resilient, I would say, to the things that bother me. So right now I have the light on, and that, I've thought about it a few times during the recording. That I might want to turn that off. I think I actually am. But like, I was able to mask and cover up almost the discomfort, because it just automatically turns on, and I didn't really think about it too much, but I did think about it. And part of that comes with just realizing what my support should be, what I need, because this does feel a lot better, and kind of wish I had just done this from the beginning, but that's kind of how a lot of this is going for me. There are a lot of things that I have just dealt with for a very long time. I have accepted for much of my life that I'm just going to be miserable, and I've let myself become defeated in that, instead of trying to figure out things that can make it better. A lot of that comes with not having a diagnosis, not understanding myself. It became extremely overwhelming to even know how to help myself because I had no place to even start. I didn't know where to begin. As soon as I started seeing content about autism, and then I decided to do more research on my own, and I realized, like, well, this sounds like me. If it is me, I should do some of these things and see if I feel better. And it really has helped me feel better in a lot of ways, to accommodate myself in ways that I didn't even know that I needed. All I knew is I would get really overwhelmed by things, and I couldn't tell what it was. Most of the time, I couldn't tell what was overwhelming. It was just everything. So being able to kind of pinpoint some of that has really helped. Like, oh, I get really overstimulated by a lot of light. That's why I've always liked to have my room really dark, and I would always do homework in the dark, and my mom would be like, you're gonna hurt your eyes because you're straining in the dark. But like, if it was too bright, then it hurt. Like, I needed it to be dim, not dark, but dim, in order for me to be comfortable. Same with sound. I always had my headphones in for like the majority of my like preteen, teen years. I had headphones in almost 24/7 because I could control that noise, and I didn't have to hear other people talking, and I didn't have to hear what my mom was watching on the TV, and I never really realized that I was blocking everything else out because I was listening to something. Now that I know that I just don't want to hear my surroundings, sometimes I really don't want to listen to anything, and I just want to block it out. And so I have my earplugs, and I have my over-the-ear noise-canceling headphone things to kind of facilitate that when I'm at home. I used them last night when I was cooking, because my mom was watching something on the TV, and it was kind of violent in some ways, and I really, really don't like hearing that. So I put my earplugs in and the over-ear things and just kept cooking, and that really worked for me because I didn't have to hear anything that was going on in the house. And so I was able to do the cooking, and normally I would force myself to push through the cooking as much as possible, and then I would run upstairs and have a shutdown or a meltdown because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know that everything going on with the sounds was what caused it. It just happened, and I couldn't tell why, and that made it harder, because then I just felt upset that I was upset, and I didn't know why I was upset all the time, which led to a lot of self-medicating for a while because I could make myself not be upset. Although it's just a band-aid, and it would still build up, and I would end up having to medicate 24/7 because I was just suppressing everything that I didn't understand. So now that I understand, and I'm not self-medicating at all, and I've been able to realize more things about myself that I just need to accommodate. But I'm not there yet. Like, my back is killing me today. It's very stiff and achy, and I don't really know how to deal with that. I'm going to be sitting a lot, and that can sometimes make it worse, and I don't want sometimes my legs will go numb, or I will have a really bad pounding headache or pain in my lower neck that I'm trying to avoid, but my head is already hurting, and it's hard to know how to help myself. I really wish I was at home. It's days like today where it's like, man, if I didn't have to work all the time, I would be able to rest when I needed to, and I'm really tired, and I really don't want to be here, and I really just want to be in my bed, and sometimes I feel like, well, yeah, of course everybody wants to be in their bed instead of at work, but I don't think to this level. I don't think it feels like a need. I don't think people think, am I gonna have to quit my job because of this? I don't think it gets to that point, because they're not dealing with a disability in the same way that I am. So, I don't know. Hopefully some people understand. Obviously, I wouldn't wish this on anybody. Why would anybody want this? But it does feel nice to have a community. To be able to share knowledge and support and just ways to help ourselves and each other. It's nice. But probably gonna go take some Tylenol and maybe do my CBD tea, because this feels like it's gonna be a long one. It is Thanksgiving week though, and so at my work, since it's an office thing, they are closed Thursday and Friday, so it is a short week for me, so I'm grateful for that. I also did all of the cooking yesterday, so I don't have to go home and cook anything tonight, which is great because I don't think I will be able to. Yeah, it's an interesting life. Sometimes I enjoy it. A lot of times it's hard. But having support from people who care and want to understand you makes it a lot easier. Yeah. I guess I'll get off and make myself some tea and try to stay awake. Yeah, I don't know how to end things usually, so just no matter what you're going through, or if you're feeling like me, or if you have other struggles that, disable you, it doesn't mean that you don't have a lot to offer and that you're not worth it, because you are enough.